You're pretty liberal. You know, you've called for curbing, logging, oil drilling, fracking. You wanted to eliminate it. You called it a victory for democracy. You want to curb U.S. fossil fuel extraction. Keep it in the ground, you once tweeted. You want a ban on fossil fuel extraction, a ban on fracking. You called the NRA once a terror group. You've supported over the years Democrats, Gore, Kerry, Obama, Hillary. You've praised Bernie Sanders multiple times. You support affirmative action. So why is this party of yours, why didn't they even want to allow you to compete? Because that's as pretty liberal of a record as anybody I know.
You have a litany of talking points from statements I've made over 40 years. Some of them are stale. Some of them I never said. But, you know, what is your question? Why the Democratic Party? Why I'm not running at the Democratic Party? You know,
why did they kick you out?
I feel like...
I mean, by the way, I'm giving you comments that you've made in 2016, 17, 19, endorsements. We know the years Gore, Kerry, Obama, Hillary, Bernie Sanders. They're all recent quotes. The NRA quote you made about calling them a terror group was 2018. So these are recent positions you've had. That I'm not sure why the Democratic Party wouldn't allow you to compete.
Do you want to talk about my position, Sean?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to read talking points from the Trump campaign?
Well, excuse me. These are not talking points. These are called Hannity points. I do my own research.
No, but I saw that same list published this morning by the Trump campaign. It's the exact same list.
So bear with me on this one because it just gets better and better. Republicans were desperate to prop up Robert F. Kennedy because he was running in the Democratic primary against Joe Biden, and they thought that the conflict between those two guys was good for them. And so they spent months bolstering him on conservative television and on conservative podcasts and highlighting his anti-vax bona fides and just in general warming their audiences up to him. Only for RFK to get so cozy with his newfound right-wing audience that Kennedy has now made the announcement that he's running not as a Democrat, but as an independent in 2024. And now, the Republicans are suddenly worried that the guy who they helped prop up will siphon off more votes from Donald Trump as an independent than he would from Joe Biden. So worried, in fact, that the RNC has now issued a memo listing 23 different reasons why Republicans should not support the guy who they just spent months introducing to their entire fan base because they thought it would be politically convenient for them. But here's the kicker. The 23rd point that they listed, and I hope you're ready for this, is that RFK denied the validity of 2 presidential elections. Yeah, really. According to the memo, quote, he called the 2000 presidential election stolen under a cloud of dirty tricks and said Republicans fixed the 2004 presidential election. So I just want to reiterate here. Republicans don't think that RFK is qualified to become president because he is an election denier, and so instead, they want you to vote for Donald Trump, whose most famous position is that he's an election denier. Got that? No? Yeah, me neither. It really is incredible that Republicans couldn't recognize that what they were doing, in effect, by propping up this guy for months and months and months, was grooming their own audience to want to vote for him. And that point was so obvious that even Kennedy himself conceded as much.
Yeah, but and then the other thing is that I take more votes from President Trump than I do from President Biden.
Right, so why would that help them?
Yeah, it's not helping them.
Yeah.
I mean, even Fox eventually realized their mistake on national TV.
Will ever be accepted by Democrats because of the vax position, because of, I mean, Kennedy is his last name, but he doesn't line up with Kennedy's on anything.
No. And they're Caroline Kennedy and her son.
Oh, they're all
doing an interview about it. Yep. And we're asked by Savannah Guthrie, do you stand by? Because Jack Schlossberg, her son, posted a video and they said, yeah, absolutely. This is not a Democrat. And they didn't go so far to say we're Biden Democrats because they're Kennedys, but they are. So the person who knows best of all who he's going to pull votes from is RFK Jr. himself, and he admitted it. So he was on a podcast, because that's where he hangs out, with a comedian named Theo Vaughn. Mm-hmm. And he said, yeah, he's sitting back, he's in like a tight gray T-shirt, like looking good. And he's like, yeah, I pull from Trump. And you know why? His approval rating with Democrats is -31 in the New York Times Siena poll. And guess what he is with the Republicans? +28.
Well, then why is he at 16% in the Democrat primary?
Well, first of all, I would re-poll the whole thing now. It's a few months later, but I do think that that was a bit of
16% with Democrats, Jessica. That's a lot.
Well, it's higher than most Republicans against Trump.
Can I just say that there's a difference if he's running within the Democratic Party name, right, for that party, for our party's nomination, and someone wants to express an anti-Biden vote, then they're going to go with the other Democrat. But if he is not a Democrat and voting for him means that you're going to elect Donald Trump.
What blows my mind is that Republicans somehow didn't know this would happen. Again, they spent so much time bolstering RFK's campaign because they wanted to fuel it against Joe Biden, but the whole reason he was so cozy with Republicans is because the guy wasn't a Democrat in the first place. And all Fox and the rest of right-wing media did with their coddling was hasten his departure from the Democratic Party. And so now they're stuck contending with a monster of their own creation. But you know what they say, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And by the way, Republicans creating these monsters that they can no longer control isn't just a recurring theme, it's basically their sole play. The party elite begrudgingly rallied around Trump when it became apparent that he would become the nominee in 2016, and now they're stuck with a wannabe autocrat whose only superpower seems to be losing election after election after election for Republicans. They refused to condemn someone like George Santos, who lied so much that even his name was up for dispute, only to see him get federally indicted with, today, a 23-count superseding indictment and get stuck with that albatross around their necks in 2024. When McCarthy was vying for Speaker, he empowered the House Freedom Caucus in exchange for their votes, only for those very people to be his downfall in the end. Republicans can't do much in the way of governing, but credit where it's due, they are Olympic gold medalists when it comes to picking people who will screw themselves over in the end. So my message to Democrats is simple. Robert F. Kennedy was not then, nor is he now a Democrat, and the notion that he would pose a legitimate threat to Joe Biden in the Democratic primary is a joke. But my message to Republicans is this. Look, the reason that right-wing media was always so fawning over RFK is because his positions are aligned with theirs. So if you're looking for an alternative to Donald Trump, Kennedy clearly has the right-wing seal of approval. Just like how they propped him up when he was calling himself a Democrat, his positions haven't changed, so there's no reason why he still wouldn't be a viable alternative for Republicans now that he's an independent. Unless, of course, it was all just a ploy by Republican media to trick their own viewers, but they couldn't possibly hate their supporters that much, could they? In the meantime, I'll leave you with this. This is from Robert F. Kennedy's campaign announcement, which serves as a pretty effective microcosm in conveying exactly how his campaign is going so far.
I need my speech. You can't read anything. You can't read anything.
What about the screen up in front? Can you see it?
What? Yeah. It's upside down.
It's upside down. It's upside down.
It's upside down. Mm-hmm.
Before you go, I need some help. Please subscribe to this channel and do your part to help grow the progressive media ecosystem. I don't do sponsorships or paid ads, I won't ask for money, but just subscribing to this channel goes a really long way, and it helps get the message out to more people. The subscribe button is right here on the screen. You can also subscribe to my Spanish language channel, which I made to reach those crucial Spanish-speaking voters. That link is on the screen too. And finally, if you want to listen to my audio podcast, you can follow that link as well. Thanks so much for watching.